When it comes to my aviation dream, it was something that I did not expect I would land. Like I did not know that, oh my God, I would actually be a pilot. When I finished my senior six, I did not know what I wanted to do. My grandfather says, what about aviation? Immediately I thought cabin crew, probably.
Yeah.
Like obviously cabin crew. I would disembark an aircraft if a woman was flying it. When I joined Miss Uganda, it was more of a mental cry for help for myself. I just was so overwhelmed with a lot of things that were going on in my life at that time, and I just wanted to just divert to something that is different from aviation, is different from family, is different from literally my life. I was trying to run away from my life.
Hey, UG boy, let's talk to them. Let's talk, chicka, let's talk to them. Let's talk to let's talk to them. Let's talk, chicka, let's talk to them. Yeah, I'm from a beautiful place, the Pearl of Africa. Hailing with a 256, it's in my blood. That's a gem where the mountains rise, with stories untold. The tapestry of cultures unfolding, so vibrant and bold. A symphony of stars, a celestial light. The drums beating, echoing through the night, just like a beacon of light. A reflection that's coming up from the Nile. I'm flowing straight into the heart of Africa with timeless stories untold. What's up, dog?
Elevate your podcast game today. Are you looking for a perfect place to record your podcast in Kampala? Look no further. Danceoff Studios, located at Ivory Plaza on Wilson Street, Level 3, Room 4, is a perfect place for you. Danceoff Studios has professional recording equipment, comfortable and creative environment, expert for all your podcast needs. Book your session today. Find them on all social media platforms or reach out to them directly to secure your spot. Let them make your podcast dream a reality. Danceoff Studios, where stories come to life.
So lucky number. Let me go with 7.
7? Let's do it. 7 is my lucky number too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Nsonyi Sonyo Okubalaba and Tutandike.
Tutandike. That's a surprise right there. Today on the Ugandan Boy Talk Show, I'm joined by an incredible guest, Sureya Umeimah. She's the first runners-up Miss Uganda 2024-2025, Miss Eastern and Top Model Uganda 2024-2025 winner. Beyond pageant stage, she's also a cadet pilot and pursuing her commercial pilot license, which she's going to talk to us about today. She's passionate about girl-child education and inspiring more women to join aviation. Sureya, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
The first question I usually like to ask people is, when was the first time you heard about this podcast? Because I always get fascinated about how people find this podcast. When was the first time you found about it? And I ask people that.
Well, it's not like when was the first time I saw it. It was randomly via Instagram. It was randomly appearing on my feed. And I'm like, okay. The topics were actually really tea and I got invested. So with time, I did not know I was literally manifesting myself to be on the seat right here talking to you. So yeah, I think it just, the algorithm for me, and I happened to have found the Ugandan Boy Talk Show.
The Ugandan Boy Talk Show. We thank God for the internet and we thank God for enabling us to put the work out there. And before I go any further, I want to say Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakat.
I was going to say, is it illegal for a non-Muslim to say Salam alaikum? Like, is it
No,
acceptable? It's not? Okay.
Salam in itself means peace.
Okay.
So it's you wishing peace upon another person. So anybody can say it.
I grew up with like Muslim neighbors. Like our neighborhood was all Muslim. So I'm a Christian and I'm a born again Christian, but I grew up with Muslim friends. So I grew up in that environment that I know a lot about Islam, like the salams, the like the imams and all the sayings. So my friends get surprised when I know that. My roommate was Muslim and he would pray all the time, like in our house. So I get to learn some of the words and I love it. I love to learn about
Mashallah.
mashallah, alhamdulillah. Let's go.
Exactly.
How are you doing? I know I just
Yeah.
started talking to you. I didn't even check in to see how you're doing, life and everything.
Oh, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I am fine. Or the Ugandan term is I'm surviving.
You're surviving.
Surviving.
Does it feel nice? And I'm already starting to get into the podcast before I go through my um segments. But it's a podcast. We can talk about anything and everything. Does it feel like a relief now that the new Miss Uganda has, like, your term ended and the new one has started, or do you miss it? What's the feeling like in you right now?
Well, it's a bittersweet feeling,
Yeah.
if I can put it that way, because suddenly you've given out the crown and it's no longer you who's reigning. And okay, someone else has come, but then you get to realize you had a certain attachment
Yeah.
to the crown.
Yeah.
Like every time I'd look at it and I polish it and I put it down there with my sashes. And then, yeah, you finally get to realize that you have to grow beyond that.
Mhm.
You literally have to grow beyond the crown. That's the reason as to why you're given the crown. So it can help you navigate and find your purpose in life. And I was so happy for the current top 3 who are currently the Miss Ugandas right now, taking over the airwaves, taking over everything. It feels so good that they're now going to actually live their dream.
Mhm.
And for all the girls who are there, they're literally the ones who are living our dreams. We're getting to see it come true. Yeah, so yes, it's a bittersweet feeling.
You're the OG now. Yeah, I've just seen some of the pictures of them going to radio station and doing all that stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. And the other thing I was gonna say, I've had a lot of Miss Ugandas, the contestants and people who have won, like Natasha has been here. Oliver Nakakande was here, who was I think from 2019. So I've had a lot of conversation with Miss Uganda and people in pageantry, and I gotta say, you guys have, they say beauty
with a purpose.
with a
Yes.
purpose. And that is so true because every person I've had a conversation with, you can see how smart they are. Like, it's not just like they're pretty and beautiful and all that, but like their minds and their creativity. It's been really amazing. And that's why I can never turn down a conversation to listen to what you guys go through and where your minds are at in everything. And with you, it's actually pretty cool that you are into aviation. That's amazing. I don't know if you know, but like I'm in aviation too, and that has been my dream since.
Really?
I didn't tell you on the phone because that was on purpose. When I called you,
Okay,
actually,
I'm surprised.
I work at the airport here in the US. I'm an aircraft mechanic.
Yeah.
I flew before I started fixing airplanes, but I decided to go into mechanics because I love mechanics more. But yeah, I've flown a few airplanes before, but now I would say 90% I'm an aircraft mechanic. So that's what I do. So I love aviation because it was a dream since when I was younger. So finding somebody who shares the same dream, it was just like, thank you, God. So I'm excited to have and to hear from a perspective of a woman, because I work with almost all guys, and it's really rare to find the women in the industry. And I'm excited to hear from your other side as a woman and encouraging other women in Uganda to come into this industry. But before we go into all that crazy stuff, all that information, we do a fun segment on the podcast called This or That.
Okay.
This or that is where I ask you 2 things. You gotta pick one. Feel free to explain why you're picking that and dropping the
Okay.
other. Or feel free to say, you know what, Bonnie, that's my answer. I don't feel like explaining it. I'll give you a pass to that. But you can't say both.
I can't say both.
You can't say both. You can't
Alright.
say neither. You gotta pick one. You ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Takeoff or landing?
Landing.
Actually, I'm gonna tell
Obviously.
you something funny. For yours, I put answers of what I think you're going to choose. And I'm going to read them to you after you tell me all your answers.
Okay. All right.
Heels or sneakers?
Definitely heels.
Ginger Nile water or Kampala city lights?
Really? Ginger Nile water.
I knew you were going to pick that one. Actually, so far, I'm 3 out of 3.
I'm that predictable.
Mentoring young girls or competing on stage? Now, this one is where I had a hard time, but I think you're going to pick what I picked.
Mentoring young girls.
I got that right too. The final one. Oh, actually, I didn't even give you time. Is there any you wanted to explain or no? Because I didn't even give you time to explain to.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Okay. Landing or takeoff?
The first one was landing or takeoff. I think landing an aircraft, there's a thrill that comes with it, and every pilot knows that. There's just a thrill that comes with knowing that this aeroplane has taken off and I have actually put it down. I've touched down and I've landed. And it's even better if the landing is a greaser, like I always do. But yeah, that's how it is.
I think for me, picking that answer for you, it was just that mentality, the same mentality of like the plane has landed. There's a lot of like calmness that come with that. Like, okay, I'm done. Like taking off can be cool, but like you're up in the sky. But like landing is like everything is at peace, like you're on ground.
There's a saying that goes, anybody can take off an airplane, but it takes a pilot to land.
That's fact.
An airplane.
That is fact.
And the first time I actually landed an airplane, the experience it's unreal because the mind is totally focused. Your vision is actually focused. There's a way you tap onto that other percentage of your brain that you do not use. I think you get what I do. You know what I'm talking about. At that time when you're looking at your speeds, you're looking at your height, and the plane is actually coming into land, you're controlling power. It's like I'm in control of everything. And that is an amazing feeling.
I'm all smiling because I'm like, this is like, I'm into like me right now. Like you're just like, you're talking to me like you're talking to something. I host a lot of like artists, like pageants and everything. I'm not a musician. I still love music. But like now when you're into aviation, it's like, yes, you're speaking my language. And like, that's why I'm smiling a lot.
And I'm very impressed knowing that I'm being interviewed by an aircraft engineer. I better get my facts straight.
No.
If I mess up, I know.
There's no pressure here. There's no, it's just, there's no pressure at all. Heels or sneakers? You picked heels.
I picked heels. I'm a heel girly. I just loved heels. Growing up, I'm a tall girl and I loved high heels. But then I used to feel intimidated by the fact that, oh my God, I'm going to tower everyone if I wear heels. Let me just keep it down to like kitten heels until I came for Miss Uganda, and during the auditions, I met Queen Ella, and she told me, girl, work on your posture. You are tall. Embrace it. Wear those high heels. Do everything. And it just unlocked something in me. I think I needed someone to tell me that sooner, much rather than now. But I also thank God that it happened because I find myself shopping heels and it's like therapeutic. I love heels so much. And it feels so good wearing heels and being like so tall and like you're having a bird's eye view of everything. It feels really good.
I picked heels for you because obviously pageantry. I think anybody in pageant, 90% of those people are going to pick heels because if that's what they love or is on, I mean, you can't, I don't know, but like find sneakers at a pageant show, it's kind of like 0 to 9 like possibilities. So I went for that. I went for heels because everybody at pageant, they'll pick heels.
Well, mine, it's more of a personal reason as to why I love heels.
Ginger Nile waters or Kampala city lights?
Nile waters. Ever since I moved to Ginger, which was around 2019, I loved that city so much. I was actually born there, but I was raised in Kampala.
Okay.
But then Ginger it's a very tranquil place. Everybody knows Ginger as it's a retirement place. People who want to retire, who want the quiet, the peace.
Yeah.
They're all in Ginger. Yeah, so Ginger is so peaceful. Ginger is, it's a quiet city. It's not like Kampala. Compared to Kampala has
Noise.
it's really alive. Yes. Ginger, you take a step back, you relax, you can walk on the streets, you can go literally to the Nile. I love hanging out by the Nile. Everywhere you'll find me. When I'm in Ginger, I'm near the water. I just love it that much. Yeah.
We used to go to Ginger field trips. I loved Ginger. I still love Ginger till today. And that's why when you say it's peaceful, quiet, it's amazing and it's beautiful, the nature and everything. Kampala is cool. Yeah, I mean, if somebody like it depends on the person actually. Like people who are into like nightlife, definitely they're gonna pick Kampala over Ginger. But like somebody who is into nature and who's into like some cool stuff like nature, yeah, beauty and all that peace, they'll pick Ginger. So, and I picked Ginger because it's home for you. That's why I was guessing that she's gonna pick that because Ginger was home for you. The other one was mentoring young girls or competing on stage.
I chose mentoring young girls. I have competed on a national level. Yes, I've competed on stage. And with the little knowledge that I have picked from that, I believe I can mentor girls to take on international stages. Because for me, when it comes to competing and all that, yes, I can to the best of my abilities. Because being in pageantry, with this 1 year that I have been actively involved in pageantry, I have learnt a few things about pageantry, insider information, and basically, and by the way, I'm a pageant coach and I'm a pageant judge.
Yes.
Okay. So I get to look at pageantry in that perspective instead of looking at it from a contestant's perspective. So that has given me a broader insight when it comes to pageantry. And I believe I can mentor quite a number of young girls out there.
I picked mentoring for you because definitely like I don't know you that much, but like seeing what I've seen so far on the internet from Miss Uganda and all that, you seem like a selfless person. Like you like giving more than receiving. So like I looked at competition. You can be competing for the country and all that, but like it's more of like you competing with other people. But like mentoring is like you helping somebody else come up. So like it's not just about you, it's about another person that's coming up. And
it's about another person. That is definitely right. Among the people that I mentored the current Miss Pearl of Africa International.
Oh, wow.
She's called Abigail Okabo. And she came to me the first time telling me, oh, there's this cool pageant. I really want to get in it. I'm like, do you want the crown? How bad do you want it? She's like, I want it. I'm like, then let's work towards it. And we did our training at night. She'd go home and should sleep really late just because we'd be on like Q&A. I'd be talking to her when we're in the car. I'd give her random fire questions and she won. And watch me backstage bawling my eyes out, crying like, oh my God. Yeah. It was a really proud moment for me. And it was like a calling to me, and I felt that immense pride. I would want to feel it again and again and again, watching all these girls becoming better versions of themselves.
And I think mentoring others is a win-win situation because if you have mentored this girl and see her win, it's like you won too. Cool, amazing. Coffee or tea?
Tea. I love my tea. African tea.
Yeah.
Very spiced.
Very spiced.
Very spiced. Yes.
I'm feeling proud right now because this is the first episode. I mentioned it somewhere that I'm going to start picking answers for my guests to see what they pick. But this teaches me two things. Like I did my research very well and I got to know my guests because I got 5 out of 5. Everything that I picked that you will pick is what you picked.
Really?
I got 5 out of 5 on everything.
That's a lot of research that you've been doing there. A lot. Getting me worried here.
No. Nothing to worry about. It's just for us to have a good conversation. But now we get into a segment where we talk about your life and things you've done, pageantry, aviation, anything and everything family. But now that I've asked you this before we go deeper into your aviation pageantry and everything else, aviation and pageantry seem like very different worlds, like totally different worlds, obviously. Do people ever ask you,
Yes.
like, how on earth do you manage both of them? And like, which one came first?
Aviation is a passion that I had. And once I got into pageantry, I realized you are selling your passion to many more girls out there. And I realized when you look at Miss Uganda and the history of the queens who were there, the very hardworking and beautiful queens, I realized the one place that we haven't tapped yet is in the aviation industry.
Yeah.
Why is it that we do not have someone representing aviators? We are not such a big number of lady aviators in Uganda, but at least we need to be seen because there's so many girls out there in the whole of Uganda who have a dream, and you find a girl somewhere in Bududa and saying, I want to be a pilot when I grow up. Find someone in Karamoja, sees a plane passing and they're like, I want to also do that. Someone all the way in Kabale also has that passion. So we needed to have that type of inclusivity. And I was so happy when I got to see a number of aviator girls who actually recognized this. And we have quite a number of them in pageantry too. Yes, not necessarily pilots, but as long as you're an aviator, we needed recognition, and we had to bridge the gap between aviation and pageantry because, hey, how do the girls get to different places in the world? I mean, you use planes to go there.
Exactly.
So why don't we have one who can actually fly a plane to there and raise the Ugandan flag high?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I thought it was an untapped something there that I thought I would tap. And I think I did a good job.
You did a very good job. And like I was just saying, I get
Yeah.
goosebumps just listening to you talk about that aviation because it's like you're speaking to a young Bonnie. I grew up in Wakiso. I used to see these planes up in the sky. I'm like, I want to fly one of those. I want to just be in one of that. I'd never been on a plane till I was like 21. It was crazy. And like seeing you have this as a passion for other kids, it's amazing. It just makes me like goosebumps, teary, emotional. I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this episode, but like let's just do it because this is like a topic to my heart, like right straight to my heart. But and this is why I say this podcast too. Share this story on here for my journey that I wanted to share my story with other kids and maybe inspire one or two people. But you did a very good job in bringing this awareness to many female aviators. Like you said, we don't have a lot of them. You mentioned when I was asking this or that, you grew up in Ginger. What was life like growing up in Ginger as a child?
Well, I was born in Jinja, but I grew up in Kampala. So I used to go back and forth Jinja. I do not have so many memories about it. I've actually gotten to make more memories in Jinja now as an adult than I did as a child because all I remember was the water.
Yeah.
Like as a child, the one thing when you think about Ginger is the water. Every time I tell my mom, take me to the water. I want to go to the source of the Nile, or let's go somewhere we can to the water. Everywhere we just end up to the water. That's how I remember Ginger. And I remember my relatives who unfortunately have passed. They're actually buried in Ginger Cemetery. And it feels... it hits home every time I go there. It really does hit home, and you feel nostalgic. But then, when I'm talking, if I'm to forward it to now, I think I've created more memories as an adult in Ginger than I did as a child because now I have the freedom to move to places that I couldn't before. Now I go and I've explored places, and I think, I love my hometown. You need to come.
Yeah, I always visit Ginger once in a while. We used to go to Ginger, for, like I say, for field trips, for those agriculture shows, all that. It was pretty crazy. But where in Kampala did you then grow up?
Chibuli.
Chibuli.
First, before mom shifted to Chibuli, we used to stay in Tinda.
Okay.
So in Tinda, I used to go to Trinity Academy, and staying in Tinda, studying from Bukoto until I started my later primary school. This is around P5, P6, P7 until the candidate class. That's when I moved to Chivoli, but then I stayed with my relatives in Chireka. And that was how I studied from Chireka grammar. So when it comes to my primary, I was a bit up and down.
Yeah.
So Kampala, mostly Chivoli, because up to now, currently, that's where I reside.
I lived in Chibuli too for a little bit. I lived Kudipo. You know Kudipo? I'm not making these things up.
Oh my God. What?
I'm not making these things up. Chibuli Komuzikiti, and then
Okay.
we would go like by Dipo.
Yeah.
And this was in my Form 6, though. Like that's when we lived in Chibuli.
I know that place. Yeah.
Would go to Depot. There's a really road that goes through there. There's a lot of chapati. The guys that make chapati on the streets. Yeah, I lived there for a little bit. I love Chipoli, but I was born in Wakiso. It's pretty crazy, like small world, and just it's why we love conversations. Like some things that we talk about bring the memories back home. You told me that you grew up with a strict Muslim household. How did that shape your values and your outlook in life today?
I wouldn't say it was very, very strict, but in a Muslim household, obviously, rules are rules. It's, so it shaped my life in a good way and also in a negative way too. In a good way because, we were protected as girls in the home. We're protected, but then at the end of the day, you get to realize you become a late bloomer. By the time people are living life, you are just getting to experience life. By the time you're leaving home, actually immediately after my senior 6, I just joined. Mom took me to Ginger and told me, okay, it's time for you to start. Join flying school. I have zero networking skills. I am such a shy girl. I was very naive. So it was so hard trying to navigate life at a point whereby all of a sudden you have freedom. You're put in a house and they've told you, okay, make us proud, go and fly. And you're like, okay, how do I start? So I felt a bit awkward in life, not even awkward, plus also backward. Because by the time I was starting to learn how to make friends and building connections and all that, I've got people who are my age who are actually like so good at that. They already have the thing set. And I'm like, oh, how do you get the confidence to do that? And I was so shy and I was so naive. I would not look someone straight in the eye. So that's how growing up in such a household, it is good, but to an extent, it hinders you. Yeah. So that's how it is.
I don't know if you went through this, but like one memory that I really get from living in Chibuli was we would walk by the mosque and the sheikh he's teaching like the Quran. Kids had to go, like in holidays, you have to go to the mosque and then just learn. And
I actually did madrasa from there.
There's
did? That nursery school right next to the mosque.
Yeah.
I did madrasa for like a good year there. There's a time my mom actually was legit about my religious studies, and I did madrasa there for a while too. So
we would see these kids that didn't want to go, or their parents came and they were not there, and like they would get really like they would beat them up, like you have to go, like they were really strict, like you have to do this. So I can relate to some extent, maybe not all of it, but like some of the things that I just saw. But also there's always challenges to things that we pursue, like pageantry, aviation, and within especially like your background, like how did you navigate family expectations versus your personal dreams? And are these dreams that you picked yourself or the family wanted you to do that?
Well, when it comes to my aviation dream, it was something that I did not expect I would land. Like I did not know that, oh my God, I would actually be a pilot. When I finished my senior 6, I did not know what I wanted to do. I was among maybe that few percentage that was just blank. Like, okay, now what career choice should I get? Should I do law? Should I do nursing? What should I do? I did not know what to do. So we were still choosing,
Mm-hmm.
career choices. And I was with my mother and my grandfather, seated in the living room, just like how we always do.
Yeah.
And then we were choosing, and then my grandfather says, "Oh, what about aviation?" Mom was like, "A friend of mine suggested aviation." So immediately I thought cabin crew, probably.
Yeah.
Like obviously cabin crew. So my grandfather was like, "No, no, 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 no. You should not. I would not. I would disembark an aircraft if a woman was flying it." I was like,
Wow.
okay. He's like, "Why don't you do a more halal course, like nursing, and you treat fellow women and earn halal money?" I was like, you know what? I want to get in that cockpit.
Yeah.
And that's how my mom made it work. She tried sorority flying school, and then I ended up in Vine Air. So I reached for Vine Air, and I was like, can I really manage? You need to be like super smart
I know.
to know how to fly a plane. By the time I reached there, they're like, "Oh, you're going to start your assessment flights." I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to sit in the cockpit and I was so nervous. I was literally shaking during that time. As I was doing my pre-flight, I did not even know, like I was forgetting things. I'm like, okay, yeah, the landing gear. Okay, yeah, the fuselage, the flaps. By the time we taxied to the runway and he put full power, my instructor, he's actually called Captain Derek Cabano.
Shout out.
He was my very, very fast instructor. By the time he put full power and we were taking off, it was like a thrilling experience.
Mm-hmm.
I imagined myself sitting in a Formula One car and like
Yeah.
going straight. Yeah, it was so thrilling. And I'm like, this is where I have to be. Like, this was just waiting for me. Well, I had to wait a whole year again to get into school, but it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
Somebody called me out on YouTube that I talked a lot in my episode with Alicia. Like they wanted to listen more of the guest than the host, which I dealt with that. But like this is the one. If somebody was gonna call me out, this is the one episode they would call me out because you speak my language that I feel like, oh, I want to talk about this. Oh, I want to talk about this. But this is like your time to share.
Please
No.
feel free. We need to share. It's been so long. It's very hard to find a fellow aviator if you're in Kampala and all.
Yeah.
Like having someone and you just click, you're like, oh my God, planes. We're on the same elevation right now.
One thing I was just gonna pick out is like before you go into aviation, like before you go into this, like even this is what I had when I was young, like the buttons will blow your minds away. Like there's a million in the cockpit. Like, be like, oh my God, that's really hard. But it's actually not that hard. Like once you get into it and you know how things work, those many buttons don't scare you. Like, this one does this and this one does that. And it's just, I don't even know how to explain to people, but like, it's really not as hard as we think. But this is also like a life lesson for me. Like sometimes before you've done anything, you think it's hard. But once you're in it, you find ways of how to deal with that. Like this it might not even just apply to aviation, but like in life, when you think about doing something, you're like, how am I going to do that? But like, it's not until when you're in it that we have power in our brains. Like our brains can think really, really hard. When you're in that situation, your brains will work so hard that you figure it out and be able to do it. And it doesn't even seem hard. So I can really relate to that. And like, yeah, man, sitting in the cockpit for the first time too, like it was just amazing. And for me, I just come from Uganda. I did my training in the US. That's where I live right now. It was just amazing and just like, oh my God, I have my first video when I went up in the it's so sure. I was doing like all the models that you can see. All the models that you can see. But no, it's beautiful to hear your experience and your first time as you're flying. I mentioned that you're working towards your commercial pilot. Is that something you're working towards?
Yes, I'm working towards getting my commercial pilot's license and instrument rating all at once.
Okay.
And it's the longest and the hardest part of the journey.
Yeah.
Because it's the one that consumes, the most hours as a student. It's financially draining and also mentally to a point, because aviation has a lot of pressure, but then it humbles you at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're under a lot of pressure, but then it will work out when it will work out. I cannot force things. Yeah, you cannot force things with aviation. It works out when it is actually going to work out. You're not going to force the plane up in bad weather, are you?
No.
You can't.
Yeah.
You'll have to wait for the storm to pass and then proceed.
It always pisses me off. Like even when I'm not the one going to fly, like when I'm on another aircraft, like I'm an airliner, I'm going somewhere and they delay my flight because of weather, I get pissed off. But it is what it is. Like you really don't have
Bonnie,
much to
I
do.
waited a whole month to do a cross country because of the winds in Ginger. I sat until I started thinking about my life. I'm like, am I doing the right thing? It's like I'm chasing something that doesn't want me. You know, when you're chasing the wind, you're like, come here, pilot's license. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
not today. So that's how I was feeling. So the times when it just teaches you how to be humble and being extremely patient. I think that is one of the things that made me look at boot camp like as if, I mean, most of the girls were saying boot camp was hard and all that. But when it came to working under pressure, these people have not seen the pressure in the cockpit,
Nope.
have they?
Nope.
They haven't. So pageantry pressure was not as bad as how it is. So with aviation, you just have to humble yourself and sit down and pray.
I really love how you intertwine aviation and pageantry, like how it is in your brain. Like I didn't even think about it like that. Like, but the way you can connect them together, it's like, yeah, go Captain Sue, go Captain Sue.
Yeah, it's like two sides of my life.
Exactly.
It's like this side, I'm Queen Sureya, this side I'm Captain Sue. Oh, and I'm also a model, by the way. So it's like I'm juggling all the three, and I have to embody all of them at once and just know this is who I am.
I want to be in your life for just a day and see how, like, what's happening.
I will talk as Captain Sue, but I will also embody Miss Uganda as Captain Sue. I will walk like a model, but my head will look for the planes up there. Like when they're passing, I'll be catwalking, but I'll be like, is that Etihad?
Yeah.
It must be Emirates.
Yeah.
No, that's an A330.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, that's how it is.
I know you look up to Captain Irene Mutunji. Oh, that's something you've mentioned before. Africa's first female Boeing 787
Yes.
Dreamliner captain. How has she inspired your journey?
Well, how she juggles life and family. Being a woman in aviation, there are certain questions, however much you want to put them at the back of your mind, it will still haunt you. Like, okay, I'm a woman, I'm doing aviation. This is a career that will require 100% of me. And at different times, it will be at irregular times. But then I'm a woman at the end of the day. How do you manage when you have a family? How do you manage when you're married? How do you manage? Like, how do you juggle all that? And she really inspired me because she has children and she can do it all. Like, I get no one can do it all, but it's the effort. Like the effort speaks for itself. You can just see the results and you're like, okay, she's doing such a good job at it. So it made me realize, there will come a time where I'll have to sit down and make certain life-changing decisions for myself when it comes to finding a partner and when it comes to marriage and when it comes to my career too. How am I going to do it? So it keeps me up at night. I think about it, but yeah, I try to navigate it.
To just think about, like you just mentioned, like pageantry, aviation, model, like a lot is going on. I'm like, and we're gonna have a segment about mental health and how like you deal with all that to avoid the burnout. But for the young girl, like, especially in Uganda, and I know a lot of people listen to this podcast across the world, but mainly for Uganda because Uganda is home. And anyone outside Uganda, you can also use this advice. But a girl wants to be a pilot, but it feels impossible, even from just numbers, like 1 out of 10 female Ugandan pilots or something like that. And they see they have a 1 out of 10 chances to live that dream. What is your message to them?
Well, my message to a girl who's seated and looks at the sky and it's calling out to her, my only message for you is keep on dreaming. You will never know where life will take you. Like, for real, you will never know where life will take you. When I was young, I dreamed of being an astronaut, and I'm still in the air anyway.
Yeah.
I'm flying. Yes. So keep dreaming. And another thing is, it is a very financially heavy course.
Yeah.
So you have to work towards it. You have to be pretty smart as a girl. If you want to be a pilot, start acting like a pilot, read like a pilot, and think like one, because that is what is going to shape you and align you to the runway. And you'll never know that the opportunities you might find on the way, the scholarships, and this is actually a call out to the government to actually look into giving more scholarships to young children. There's so many smart minds out there who have big dreams and they do not know if they have the financial backing. So we need to come together as Ugandans and look into such sectors, because we need an all Ugandan crew or a totally Ugandan thing, like
Yeah.
for us. It's very hard. Sometimes I feel so hard, not in a bad way, but you're going to an aircraft, it's probably a national carrier, and you're seeing a foreign pilot, and you're like, where are our people?
Exactly.
Why don't we invest in our people? Take them for training, bring them back. Like, we need to see more of girls putting on their uniforms and causing traffic jam at the airport because they've gone to fly.
Exactly.
Yes,
You-
like that's what we need.
You touch on that, and addition to your advice, I know this was your advice, but like addition to that, let none the finances scare your dream. I didn't grow up in a rich home. I didn't grow up in a rich family. Like my parents are not like rich. I'm not what you guys call plant kid. And I didn't know where my dream is gonna take me. And I share this in my own podcast. Sorry for that one guy who says I talk a lot about this. I gotta talk about this here because my education, my dad never paid a single coin for my aviation school, not even 5 cents. But God brought people in my life that took care of all that, like people I met, friends. My school was actually paid by like 1 million people around the world that were sending money to help me with my school to do this. People I don't know, people that just heard of my story. That's why when I tell people on this podcast that I have a grace of God through everything I do, I don't take that lightly. So let not the financial part scare your dream. Just go for it and believe in God,
Yeah.
whether you're Muslim or Christian, believe in Allah, believe in God that He's gonna take you through that. Just keep your dream alive. I'm not gonna start sharing my whole story here, but I promise I'll do a story about my journey in aviation and how I got through it. But yeah, listen to our advice, follow your dreams,
I'd
and
love
you'll
to
make it
hear that
happen.
too. Yeah, that is so true. Because when I started my aviation career, I did not come with a lump sum of dollars and just put it there. I want to start school. No, it was in, I had a flexible payment method with my school that actually allows it. And my mom actually, who single-handedly helped me out throughout, she was my only sponsor, plus a few relatives of mine who were trying here and there. When mom would get $300, $200, 500, she, whatever she would get, she would just put. So it's the consistency that matters. And I really thank God for the turn of events, because guess what? We were at school, and then His Excellency happened to be passing by and calls us and tells us, greets us, we're greeting him. That was the first time seeing the president. And it's like, okay, oh my God, and then, it talks to us personally. And it's like, okay, personally points to us. What's your name? What are you doing? Told us what are you, what are your hindrances? Like, what challenges are you facing? And we told him financial problems, because literally we can fly planes, we have the brains to do it, but the only problem is financial. And that's how I ended up on a scholarship. So you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. And the first step is always the hardest.
Like you said, you never know. Many things can come your way. Scholarships can come out of nowhere. Just you won't find out unless you try. Like if you say no before even you give it a try, then you'll never know how it would turn out. So just go and just do it, and things will just fall into places. Anyway, there's a lot of girls that look up to you as Captain Sue, and there's a million of other girls too that look up to you as the pageant. What inspired you to enter a Miss Uganda competition?
Well, my story with pageantry starts in 2021 when I saw an ad for Miss Africa. And I was like, oh, an SUV? The winner gets an SUV. I ran to my mom, I want to join this. Mom was like, okay, I see. Cash prize, SUV, what? I'm like, okay. I joined pageantry, so we go for auditions. And that's when I realized that, oh, you need to have a cause. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, there's actually more into pageantry than what people think. It's not just going, smile, work. No, you have to have the brains to back it up. Yeah. So I ended up first runner-up during the Miss Africa pageant. And fast forward to when I joined Miss Uganda. When I joined Miss Uganda, it was more of a mental cry for help for myself. I just was so overwhelmed with a lot of things that were going on in my life at that time. And I just wanted to just divert to something that is different from aviation, is different from family, is different from literally my life. I was trying to run away from my life, and I ended up finding myself there, face to face with my life. So I had to be in pageantry as Captain Sue. So at the end of the day, I had to merge aviation with pageantry. And that was what I wanted to do in Miss Uganda, because I realized it wasn't being done year after year. I'm like, okay, fine. I was supposed to join in 2023. I wanted to join. And I told Mom, I want to do this. Mom was like, no, you still have to get your PPL. Like, okay, fine, let me go and fly. So when I joined Miss Uganda, I did not tell anybody. I went for regionals.
You didn't tell your parents too?
I didn't tell anyone that I joined Miss Uganda. There's only one friend of mine who actually knew. And I go for the auditions in Jinja, and it took 3 days. And all of a sudden, they call my number. The winner is contestant number 14. I'm like, oh my God. We have started. There's no turning back now.
You took over for Rianne. It's a great friend. Shout out to Rianne.
She crowned me. She's such a great, amazing person. She's such a beautiful person. I like her. Yeah. So Rianne crowned me, and I was given 2 days notice. They're like, we're going to post the photos. So
you have to go tell your parents.
Time for you to inform your family. Yeah. So I told my family, hey, I joined something and I won. So it took my family a while to accept the fact that I am in a pageant. So during the beginning, Mom was on board and the others were not really on board, because what is she doing in Miss Uganda? Haram. She's literally left her religion. She's gone for a pageant? They're showing themselves on TV, out in the open, without hijab. Oh my God, it was a lot.
Yeah.
When I was at boot camp, it was a lot. I had a relative of mine say, when I finish Miss Uganda, it's okay, since she's left. When she comes back, she should say the Shahada again and come back to the religion. I was like, okay.
Wow.
All right. I did this, I started this, let me finish it.
Yeah.
So I could not be like, oh no, all these words have gotten to me. Let me just, Mama, Madam Brenda, I'm so sorry, I'm leaving. Because I was like, no.
No, yeah. I wouldn't do it.
Mom was on my side.
Yeah.
And if that's okay, then no one else matters. And I finished it. And then that's how more of my family members started getting on board during voting time. That's when I had, not many, but some of my family members who truly and really supported me.
You got the most votes, didn't you?
No. I didn't. I was ranked number 15 on the list of votes.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't, but I tried to push. I really, really tried. Yeah. I did.
Voting time is just like you just see these things circulating. Like even when my podcast was nominated for awards, when you're trying to get people votes, it's like crazy. But please vote for me, please. Did you vote today? There was some
Literally. Literally, I started bombarding my friends. Bambi Munyambe, vote for me. Have you voted? Send a screenshot.
Yeah.
I need to see that you voted today. So that's how it was. And then that's how it was up until finale. Finale, I had about 5 people during finale. That was my mother, 2 of my close friends, and their plus ones. And that's how it was. That's how they were cheering me on. Plus my cousin sister was also there. And you're in a crowd where there's almost 100 people wearing T-shirts and banners and what. So, you feel there's a certain way you feel, and you're like, okay, we're still doing this anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless, we're still doing this. So that's how it was.
I got lucky to watch, I think, the finale, but like not being in the country, I didn't watch it live. Obviously, I watched clips on social media, and it was really amazing. And all of you guys have made it. The top 3 was really cool to see you guys up, and you deserved it. Like watching your journey from your Miss Uganda journey, what you all went through, what you're advocating for, it was really, really amazing. And for aviation, yes, you got there and the word is being heard. So hopefully that's going to change in our country, and we're going to get many people to believe in
it
that.
will.
I mentioned somewhere that we're going to talk about mental health and your personal growth and stuff, like balancing. Like we've listened to you talk about aviation, talk about pageantry, and talking about what actually it takes to do all those. How do you protect your mental health in your career as a woman?
It does reach a point where it gets overwhelming, because aviation in itself is very stressful. That any aviator should know that it takes a toll, because remember, you're literally chasing your dream as a career woman. And pageantry side of it is also demanding, because it needs your presence too. You need to show your presence, you need to go and work, you need to go do CSR. So it was a bit hard to juggle both, because I felt like as if I was spreading myself thin. Like pressure from here, pressure from there. But then deep down, like I thought, I'm running out of time. I have to do this. I'm left with like 3 months. My reign is going, only to realize that, hey, this journey is supposed to make you better. It's supposed to birth something bigger than this. Yes, it's a 1-year reign, but it's making you be someone that you're going to be for a whole lifetime. Once a queen, always a queen. So basically, I was just putting myself under unnecessary pressure, yet it was something that I could do at my own time. And with pageantry, immediately after a girl enters a pageantry, immediately they've opened up a foundation. I was just seeing foundations opening up left, right, center. I'm like, oh, wait, I need to open up a foundation. Nangenitagayoka foundation. Like, what can I do? Like,
you saying it in Uganda just killed me.
I need a foundation. I need to do it very quickly. So I found myself putting myself under a lot of pressure. And I'm like, hey, do I have a deadline I need to catch up on? No. This is something that I can just take your time, do it at your own pace. If you're gonna go to schools, if you're going to do something small and do CSR, it's not a must for you to like come up with something big immediately. Like I just decided to tell myself, breathe in, breathe out, sit and plan it properly. It's not a must for you by tonight, foundation, you've launched it. By tomorrow, you're in Bududa. By the other time, you're in Karamoja. It doesn't work that way unless you're having so many sponsors on board. But if it's something that you're starting out by yourself, it's very, very hard. So it needs a lot of patience and support from close friends, and because that also helps with your mental health in a way or so. And also the sisterhood in Miss Uganda. You get to realize so many girls who are out after Miss Uganda go through a lot. Remember, after a pageant, you're back to daily life, you're back to work, you're back to your families, you're back to, your partners and everything. So there's a way pageantry makes you different. It shapes you, it grooms you, it refines you as a lady. And now you're back to your old environment as a different person. And people still see you as the other Sureya before a pageant, before the growth. So you find you get to lose, not losing friends, but you lose hope in friends.
Yeah.
Because you find a person does not acknowledge your growth. They do not be like, okay, now this is a different Sureya. Like clearly I can see from the time she started and now there's tremendous growth, but you're still going to talk to me like the old Sureya, and that is not how it works. So you get to realize so many things don't seem as authentic anymore, and it doesn't sit right with you, but then you have to master detachment. That's what I did.
Another note, did you ever have any moments of doubt or trying to give up in both aviation and both pageantry? Like,
In pageantry, no, I was determined.
yeah.
I was determined. When it came to Miss Uganda, like the vision I had in my head, no one was going to snatch that away from me. Like I knew what I wanted. When I was going for boot camp, yes, fine. It was a bit hard to cope, paying fines here and there, working out and what. But this did not change. Like every time I was there, I was like, I have to give them international standard. I have to give international standard.
I love that. I love that.
So that's how it was. So when it came to Miss Uganda, like I knew it. So, because by the time I was joining it, I had a 99.9% chance that by the time I'm doing this has to work out. If it doesn't work out, it has to work out in some other way.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And then when it comes to aviation, I've had that multiple times.
Yeah.
A lot.
Welcome to my life.
A lot of times. A lot of times. I have cried.
Yeah.
I've been depressed. I have spent days hungry. I have spent days overeating. I have cramming, lots. And during exam week, it just tastes you. It takes your patience to another level, knowing if I fail this exam, I'm done for.
Yeah.
I'm totally done for. Yeah, so that's how it is. And then it puts you under a lot of pressure, whereby you find when things don't work out, you want to give up. You're like, when things start working out, you're getting the flights, you're doing this now, the pressure starts happening. Oh, I have this flight in the morning, so it's too much pressure is a problem. No pressure at all is a problem. So you just have to find a common ground.
Not to scare people, but like it doesn't end. It's kind of like continuous. But like you said, you just have to find a common ground. And like I know from my perspective, like I say in the beginning, I'm like 90% mechanics. So we are the ones that fix these airplanes. They're sitting, you do this, you do that. There are days when we do, like I'm specializing in engines, like we do like engine overhauls and stuff like that and testing them. But sometimes you'd fix an airplane and then it comes back and then you start being like, actually, I shouldn't even say this next to a pilot because we are the ones that fix your planes. I'm like, hope the maintenance people did a good job. But like, you see this plane comes back and you're
I know
like,
what you want to say.
I'm like, what did I forget? And you want it.
Oh, wow.
You want to be like, what did I forget? Is something wrong? And then you run around and say, what is this plane back for? Why is it coming for? And if they say, oh no, it's not something we did. And then you're like, thank God. But I mean, that is like a continuous thing. It makes you like stay on your toes and
it makes you tough.
Yeah, it makes
you grow. Aviation is like lifting dumbbells over the years. You start with a kilo. You start the people who are, lifting 50 plus, and I'm here holding 30 or 40 and I feel it's a lot. What if I get 50? What will happen? So,
but on contrary to that, though, like when we do like an engine change, engine overhaul, and then you see this plane taking off, I'm like, I did that, and it feels really, really good. Like I have videos of.
It's such a good feeling.
It's a good feeling to see that it's up there. Anyway, Sureya, we already passed 1 hour. I try to keep the what they call it, attention span of the listeners, but we're not done yet because I still have a few more questions we're going to walk through. But we're coming close to the end of the recording. Do you see yourself continuing in pageantry and mentoring along the side? Or do you see yourself just going in aviation?
Not really. Right now, it's now a part of me. So I'm just going with whatever happens right now. I grew into pageantry. I'm a coach right now. I'm a mentor. So I want to know how far it's going to go. So yes, I am pretty much seated on my seat when it comes to pageantry.
Okay.
Yeah, and aviation too. So I'll be juggling both.
10 years from now, what do you want? What do you want to hear when people say the name Sureya Umeimah? How do you hope they remember?
Well, hopefully they'll be saying Captain Sureya Umeimah.
Captain Sureya Umeimah. Did you hear that? Or do you want me to rewind it?
Yes. Hopefully they'll be saying that. And 10 years from now, I just want to be someone who has made a positive impact.
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to have made change in my society and also inspired so many girls, because I do not know what 10 years is going to bring for me, in all honesty. I may say, oh, I will be in my G-Wagon driving, from my mansion.
Let's go.
I go and fly and do that. You never know what life is going to bring for you, but regardless of what life brings for me, I want to impact as many people as possible, not just, impact you mentally, emotionally. I just want to be an impactful person. And also, I hope and I really pray that my career has skyrocketed from there.
Taking
Yeah,
off.
so Captain Sureya Umeimah in 10 years' time.
Captain Sue. We always end this Actually, from now towards the end of the podcast, I'm going to be Captain Sue because, that's cemented right there.
Captain Sue.
We always end this podcast with a few segments. One of them is rapid fire. Rapid fire is where you tell me the first thing that comes to you. You don't have to
Okay.
explain, but if you want to, you can explain it. But you don't have to. Are you ready?
Okay.
This is fun, just fun. It's not serious.
I am ready.
You're ready. I'm going to warn you,
Yeah.
there's one question that I know I'm going to be happy about.
All right.
The first one, favorite Ugandan dish.
Matoke and maido.
What is Maido? Maido is
Granite
okay,
paste.
that's what I thought about it.
Yeah.
Dream destination you'd love to fly to, like you flying.
Oh, me flying, dream destination. I do not have, all runways are my destination.
Yeah.
All runways are my destination. It doesn't matter anywhere.
Anywhere.
Even if it's in Congo,
Okay. You have
even
it.
if it's in Sudan,
Yeah.
even if it's in Dubai, even if it's in Holland, anywhere.
Anywhere.
That's my destination.
Anywhere
as long
that's-
as my wheels touch down there,
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
A role model in aviation besides Captain Mutunji.
A role model in aviation besides Captain Mutungi. I think the role models, I would not have one specific one. The role models I would have would be the girls that I have been with in my aviation journey. And the friends that I've met on the way, all the ladies that I've had in the aviation journey. I've had so many different friends. I've had Grace, I've had Rona, I've had Geraldine, and them waking up every morning and pushing their dreams really inspires me. So I pick inspiration from the people around me, and they truly do inspire me.
Shout out to all of you. One word that best describes you.
Authentic.
Authentic.
Authentically so.
Authentically so, says Captain Sue. If you had to choose pilot captain or Miss World title,
What do you mean if I had to choose?
if you had to choose one. And this is a
A
question I
queen
warned
wears
you about, by the
multiple
way,
hats,
before I asked.
Bonnie.
This is a question I
I wear
asked.
multiple hats.
No. This is a question I warned you before we started. If you had to choose
Yeah.
pilot, Captain Sue, or Miss World
Pilot, Captain Sue, and Miss World.
title,
I cannot choose.
you're gonna have
because
to.
it's two in one. It's like the same thing. If I won Miss World,
Uh-huh.
I would be Captain Sue as Miss World. You understand? If I won Miss Universe as a pilot, I would be Miss Universe, the pilot. It's the same thing.
It's-
Two sides of the same coin.
You're trying to jug my question here, but I see what you're doing. See what you're trying to.
Yeah.
I'll forgive you. I won't stretch it so hard. Sureya, thank you very much for joining us today. From ginger to the skies, runway from the cockpit. Your story is a proof that women can achieve any field without losing themselves. So thank you very much for having this conversation with us today.
Thank you too. It was truly an enlightening conversation. It's one of the best that I've had so far.
Oh wow!
Thank you so much.
I love to hear that. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now for the listeners, that was Captain Sue, Miss Uganda 2024-2025, first runners-up, top model, Miss Uganda Eastern, and the future commercial pilot right here on the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tune in for more inspiring conversation just like these ones. But before I let you go, there's another one. The last one is final 3. These are quick answers. You just tell me the one line.
Okay.
What's a life lesson you've learned in life to this point?
Master the art of detachment and emotional intelligence.
What gets you excited about life?
That I get to live it.
Who would you like to see on this podcast next as a guest? And you're going to help me to have the person here on the podcast.
Another person that I would love to see on as a guest would be Queen Bizu.
Queen Bizu.
Queen Fiona Bizu. I believe her story would be one for the books.
Let's go. Queen
Yes.
Bizu, you had that.
Yes.
You got next. It's a wrap. So thank
Yeah.
you very much, Sureya. I appreciate. I laughed. I smiled. I did everything. I cried. Every time I cry, I get tears in my eyes. I don't know if people see them in the camera, but like that means like I laughed so hard. It was a good time. You haven't? Yeah.
But it was nice catching up with you, a fellow aviator. Thank you so much. And I appreciate all the engineers that we have in aviation. Thank you so much for keeping our planes safe for us to fly.
Hey there, my name is Bonnie Chibuka, the podcast host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching and listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also, leave a feedback on this podcast because that's how we grow. Thank you very much and be blessed.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sureya Umeimah, Miss Uganda 2024 Fast Runners-Up, Top Model Uganda, and Miss Uganda Eastern Region 2024-2025, and a pilot by profession. And I have been hosted at the Ugandan Boy Talk Show, and we were talking about mental health, career, pageantry, aviation, you name it. Family, friends, everything. And I would love for you to tune in and listen to my journey in Miss Uganda and also my journey in aviation and hopefully have fun. Njogera Luganda, bulungi nnyo ssebo. Sikyinaamu buzibu oba oyagala. Yeah. A lot of people actually, when they see me the first time, they do not think I know Luganda.
No,
That's how I surprise them.
I could not have guessed that. Like,
From Miss Uganda.
you are Miss Uganda, yeah?
Literally, I embody Uganda. That's the language too.
I like to mess with people with that. So on the podcast, I think you've seen a few of my episodes. I have a tradition that I do where my guests get to do a countdown. They pick their lucky number and then they count down. And then at the end of the countdown, you say any word, any favorite word you want. It could be a hype word. It could be just a word that you really love. The other time I made a joke, I told somebody you can abuse somebody if you want. If there's somebody who was hurt. No, it's just... No, it's basically just, you can just say any word. Some people have said, let's go, let's do it. Someone just said gratitude. Somebody just said anything that just came out. So
we should use a Luganda word.
We should use
I think
yeah.
that's better.
Yeah, you should surprise them. Actually, that's what you should do.
Should I be like,
yeah,
tugende or tutandike?
Actually, you know what?
Something like
Just make it a sentence. Just make it a sentence like in Luganda. No, I don't know. Just say any word. You can say tugende. I don't know. I want it to be natural. Just make it like yourself. Anyway, so you pick a number and then you say that you count down. You're going to do the countdown. And then at the end of your countdown, you say the word. I have introduction that I did for you, and then I'll say my introduction, and then we get the podcast started.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you too.
So is Kevin in there? Actually, Kevin helped us schedule this. We're going to tell him I said hi, and I'm thankful.
Kevin, they said hi.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi. How are you doing?
I
Good.
can't hear you, but how are you?
I don't know if you can. I don't think you can hear me, but yeah. Thanks.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks
You
for
okay?
setting this up. I enjoyed talking to Sureya. It was
It's a
amazing
pleasure.
conversation.